What's up, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be going over the packs that we have, compliments of Tana and his data mining skills. Make sure you go show Tana some love on his channel. And we're going to be comparing that with the enemy composition that we also have from data mines. So just keep in mind, all this is subject to change, but it's a very interesting conversation. And the data mines have been more right than not lately. And with this information, we can kind of see the landscape of the Black Cat trial. Very interested to get into that with you in this video. So let's get into it right now. So here we are. We got to give a big shout out to Tana. Thank you, Tana, for data mining these nodes for us. Going to be very interesting conversation we get to have today. It might run long, so check the timestamps if I put some on, unless we burn through this nice and quickly. So he got the packs for us. So we already kind of knew the nodes via data mine. Of course, all this might be fake. It all may be fake. It all may be a ghost trail that was left for us to find, and they changed everything up, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world after going through this and kind of thinking about the possibilities here. But let's get through it. Hey, somebody just hit one of our sponsorship goals, playing Ant Legion. So thank you so much for doing that. You know what? I'll go ahead and I'll throw a sponsor link in the comment section below if you want to hit that. But this video is not being sponsored by Ant Legion. So let's go through the packs. We got World at War. We all kind of expected this one. All war abilities are active during this run. There are so many war defense characters, but we already kind of assumed that because they gave us our Nowhere team. Just like we had Masters of Evil before with the Crucible rules, now we got Nowhere with the war rules. And I expect the next one is going to be whatever the new tech team is with the raid rules on, or maybe Bifrost with the raid rules on. We'll see how that goes. Though, if it's Bifrost with the raid rules on, I don't know how we could ever lose that. Because if you've experienced Crucible, you know how silly Bifrost is when they have their raid stuff on. I digress. Let's continue. The next one, Sinister Symbiosis. On spawn, non-minion city characters gain the Sinister 6 trait, and city bio hero characters gain the Symbiote trait. I don't think this one is going to be super impactful. It's definitely not for us. It's definitely for the enemies. I didn't see anything that like jumped out at me besides like Node 1, but even then, just not too worried about that one. I think that's going to be free points. Agents of Nowhere. On spawn, cosmic hero characters gain the Nowhere trait, and invader characters gain the shield trait. This one is not for us. This one is going to make it incredibly difficult in that last one. We'll talk about that. This one actually makes me kind of lean towards the idea that we may be looking at another legendary event where we're doing the higher difficulty we could possibly get through, but only doing 9 nodes, like we did for the Nova trial. I think that's where we're going with this one. Just on that last node, it looks ridiculous, but the nodes before it don't look that bad. But we'll see. Obviously, we're going to have some sneaky ways we can burn the node too. We'll talk about all that in a little bit. Brawl Room Blast. All Brawler characters gain additional crit hit damage. Obviously, with the Brawler tag, that's good for us. And all Blaster characters gain additional crit hit chance. There's other characters we can benefit from that. I believe Nova is a Blaster. But obviously, it's a double-edged sword. It's going to be worked against us as well. Second win, when any character drops below 50% health, generate 2 ability energy. It doesn't say only one time per match, so that can ping pong back and forth. Maybe we'll use that to our advantage so we can spam some abilities, kind of teeter around the 50% mark. Or maybe that's going to happen against us, so we're going to be pulling our hair out. So that's kind of a double-edged sword there too, but definitely going to be one we equip. Hired Help, summon characters gain 20% max health. That doesn't matter. We're going to put it on. Yes, there's Nick Furies we're going to look at. Yes, there's Doc Ox. There's Sinisters in there. There's Phoenixes in there. There's Maria Hill. Doesn't matter. That's one we're going to equip. That's one we've always equipped. Self-preservation. On turn, healers bury yourself for 5% of max health. It is what it is. We'll see the ISOs. We don't know that right now, so we'll see when we get in there. I don't assume it'll be that bad. We'll definitely use that to our benefit. We can put like Cosmo and maybe Korg as a healer for this. So we're getting extra heals on our Nowhere team while they're also getting barrier to protect themselves, to kind of help to sustain on that team. Maybe we'll have the full team as healers and just try and out-sustain everything. We'll see how that goes. But then we also have on the offensive, whenever a character applies heal block, this would obviously impact your healers. Apply a heal block to an enemy, heal self for 15% of their max health. We're going to be thinking about Gambits when we look at that. We're going to think about Gamoras. There's lots of problem characters to talk about when we get there. So let's break it down node by node. So I kind of did this. You know what? I'll make this available in the Discord if people want it. This is just kind of an easy breakdown on what the data mine nodes look like. Is this going to be correct? I don't know. They could definitely change it up on us, right? We won't know until the day comes. Or until they let us test it or they let us verify it, whatever the case may be. So for node 1, we're looking at a Nobu, 2 Psylocks, 2 Electras. We got Iron Fist, and then Daredevils. We got 4 symbiotes, 3 carnages, and a venom. So that would kind of play into the and city bio hero characters gain the symbiote trait. I believe Daredevil's bio and Iron Fist is Daredevil's skill. Maybe it doesn't feed into it at all. This is the only node where I kind of felt like this is where they were trying to play into. But yeah, so I don't think anything really affects this one. As far as war tags go, Nobu doesn't really have anything outside of his team. Daredevil, again, Daredevil Elektra without the White Tiger, like it's not really a Shadowlands team. They're obviously brawlers, basically everybody. Like basically everybody. So they're going to get a little bit of crit hit there. Summon characters. There's no summon character. Well, I guess Nobu, but if he summons, it doesn't matter. This is the unrestricted node. We expect this to be easy. We expect this to be our staging room, right? Where we're going to get other characters ready. So not surprised that's going to be very easy there. So for node 2, this is the nowhere node. We now have some city hero characters that, no, they're both mystic. Again, there's no bio characters here. Spider-Woman is bio, but they're going to get the symbiote trait, but there's no symbiotes to feed off it. I just don't see where that particular pact is going to play into account here. But we got Cloak, Dagger, Nico. Nico is the one that is the scariest here, because if you look at Nico's kit, she doesn't need a single person with her to get the speed up on spawn. So she's just going to be popping off and throwing her ultimate turn 1. I wonder if this is going to be a node we're going to do a burn attack on, because Nico's ultimate is absolutely crazy. It's going to flip your defense ups. It's going to flip your deflex. It's going to put trauma on you. It's going to put disrupt on you. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, let's just read her kit real quick. So on defense, or on war offense, on spawn, apply speed up to yourself and all A-Force allies. There is no contingent that you need to have somebody else with her. And then on spawn, apply safeguard immunity deathproof to the highest A-Force ally. That's going to be just herself in this lineup. And then also immunity and deathproof to the lowest health ally. That's probably going to be Deadpool, so I don't see a huge issue with that. But I just thought that was interesting. Like Cloak and Dagger doing Cloak and Dagger things is obviously very scary. So I wonder if we go in here with a burn attack to pull the Nico ultimate and go from there. Remains to be seen, but it's an interesting node for sure when we look at the war tag being active. Nothing else really jumping at me there. Obviously, we got a controller. I believe Dagger's a blaster, so she's going to get additional crit hit chance. But if you let her do her ultimate, like you kind of already lost anyway. Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman a brawler. No, she's a blaster as well, so she's got additional crit hit chance. Captain Marvel's a brawler, so that's going to be crit hit damage increased. There's interesting there, and then the Spider Weaver's a protector, so nothing really coming out from there. Yeah, so non-minion city villain characters gaining Sinister 6. That doesn't affect us here either. Healers could obviously affect us. If like Spider Weaver is a healer, that could be a huge pain in the butt. As far as heal blocks go here, do any of these have a heal block? I'm not really seeing it if they do. It's kind of not too worried about it. Okay, so now let's get on over to the next slide. All right, for node number 3, we got the Mystic Villains. So we do have some Sinister 6 members here. 5, actually. So obviously they're going to be getting their war tags. They're going to be charged like crazy. They're going to get lots of health from Doc Ock. So there's going to be some interesting things there. The Doc Ock Swarm combo is what I would expect. Because the other characters with their war tags or not, doesn't matter. They suck, which is important to know, guys. Don't build up your Sinister 6 for this. We got the ward tag also from Baron Zemo. I don't think it does anything crazy besides put evades up when you have summoned characters there, right? When a summoner or minion takes a turn, he gets evades. Don't bring that in there. So I'm not too worried about that either. As far as non-minion city villain characters in the Sinister 6, they give that doesn't exist on this node. So I don't understand what that does. Sinister Symbiosis was put in for. Maybe it's on a later node. As far as brawler characters go, not too much to worry about here. Blasters, we got a lot of blasters. A Bishop, I believe Swarm's a controller. I have no idea what Vulture is, actually. Vulture is not really going to matter. He's going to get in there, he's going to do some turn meter rewinds, and then he's going to instantly die. There's that. Summon characters gain 20% max health. This is going to affect the Phoenix. It's also going to affect the Doc Ock. Obviously, on this node, we're going to need to kill those magics before the Phoenix drops in. Last thing you want is 3 Phoenixes on the field, doing their specials, immediately killing your team and your run. As far as heal blocks go here, I've not seen anything crazy in that regard either. All right, let's go on over to the next node, which will be node 4, Global Controller node. And this one, not looking too friendly to us now, is it? So, Icarus, 5 Asgardians, and then another Nico. So, again, we're dealing with that on spawn speed up, hitting us super fast, super hard. Flipping defense ups to defense down, which will be a problem. Surfer Icarus coming in quick. You know, Icarus trying to get a double tap on you. I don't know if this might be another burn node. Who knows? And then the Valkyrie passive, you know, it's 100% in war. So you're going to have to deal with that. Try and get a stun on her before we kill her, before we kill her allies. It seems to be changed the way it works in game, so we'll see how that goes. Cersei, obviously we can't have Icarus alive when Cersei drops in. Even though Icarus will have blown his ultimate by then, you know, we don't want Cersei to come and do a turn meter rewind to us. And then we have the Dark Hunters coming in. The Dark Hunters get a little bit in war, but nothing that really affects your global controllers. It's mostly against city characters they do it against. So again, Dark Hunters getting snubbed even in even when they're used against us. So not too worried about that at all. And then we got Node 5. So Node 5 is pretty interesting with all of these X Factor members and how they're going to be getting lots of speed. They get lots of damage with the way it works. And then the Gambit, he's going to be using that on the offensive, applying heal block. He's going to heal a lot. So when he drops in, I think you want to like immediately stun him and go from there. As far as all the other traits go, not too much in play here. Like it's mostly leaning into, you know, take out those long shots so you don't get ran over speed wise. Make sure you don't get caught up on these. This Darkhold team is crazy. Like imagine if this could be our Darkhold team where we get 2 Heartlesses instead of a stupid Scarlet Witch. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, this node doesn't look too fun. It also doesn't look too hard though, because we do have that brawler tag, which means we're gonna have Quicksilver, we're gonna have Red Hulk, we're gonna have Deathpool, we're gonna get in there, we're gonna get to do a lot of work very, very quickly. But not too worried about this node, though it is very interesting. And then we got Node 6. The Node 6 is again another nowhere node, and I think this node is purposely tamed down to lead us into Node 10. But it's not super tamed. So we do have a bunch of Dark Hunter members again. Like, you know, Strange and Scarlet Witch are kind of like default little bench warmers, if you will, for the team. But if you get outsped, which you won't, because your Nova gets speed bar on spawn, and they start putting debuffs on you, it's just going to get out of control for you. And then you have the Mr. Negatives. Now, he's not going to be getting speed bar without Taskmaster. You kind of want to take them out before the Taskmaster drops in. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how the Taskmaster speed bar is going to be applying to enemies that were already on the field when he hops in. That's going to be interesting because obviously that's not how war works. But we'll see. And obviously the Killmongers are going to come in with a bunch of speed bar. He's going to come in with speed bar. If they are on the field when he drops in, he'll definitely get the extra speed bar from that. And then he's got that devastating ultimate turn 1. So this node may be a problem. Maybe we just brace ourselves for it. Obviously the Nowhere team is capable of eating this type of mechanical onslaught and then take over. So we'll go from there, I suppose. Again, though, it doesn't look too difficult because when we see Node 10, we're going to focus on Node 10 a little bit more because it's bonkers. All right, so Node 7, the Mystic Villain node after that. So this one looks pretty tough too. The Quicksilver is going to be a problem when we start scaling into higher difficulties. His damage is just nutty. The Cersei's there to cleanse him, so putting a stun on him may not be enough. Luckily, we may be able to follow it with a trauma on the stun. We do have Mystic Villain, so that could be Dormammu, right? Dormammu can kind of get a stun on him. How you can get your Dormammu to go first? Don't think you can you? If you can maybe just keep resetting until your Quicksilver goes first, and then you can strip his charges off. Maybe that's going to be something you need to do. So maybe without Quicksilver, we're going to be screwed for the Black Cat trial. But even after we take him out, you know, we got the Minerva threat. Luckily, she's going to fall over with a slight little kick to the shin. She should die. But the node gets more difficult, and you have targets you need to take out before others drop in. Like, you definitely need to take the Quicksilver out before he just starts doing his ultimate running over you. You need to take the Psylocke and the Dark Beast out before the other Deathseed members drop in. You also got to take the Cersei out before the Icarus drops in, so we're kind of ignoring Minerva there. When the new waves drop in, I don't have that information. At least, I don't know how to read the data mine that well to get that information. But this node definitely doesn't look super easy. This will be the last time you use your Mystic Villains, though. So, you know, maybe you can prep your Heartless Ultimate and save it for this node if you don't need to use it on the Mystic Villain node that came before it. And maybe you can just completely wipe out the first wave. Like maybe we can go in there with Morgan and she's going to use her ultimate and she's going to rewind people, everyone but Quicksilver, and she'll flip some defense up to defense down. She'll flip some of the dodges and the counters, and then Heartless can come in and just wipe the floor with them. And then that leads into the next waves, but it's a little bit easier to maintain. That might be what we go for. I'm definitely excited to test this node. This node looks very, very fun. Then we go into the last global controller node. And this one is stupid. This node is just stupid. I don't think there's any other way to put it. I think you'll all agree with me once we play it. Gwenpool's Echo, Kate, don't care too much about this. The Young Avenger team without America Chavez is going to be very annoying for sure. But there's no Squirrel Girl, there's no Kate, so we're not dealing with that percentile life bouncing act that they make us go through. So it's gonna not be fun, but it's wave 2 that becomes ridiculous. So Brawn gives the speed up to the other Hulks, and then Hulk gives safeguard and immunity to Red Hulk. And then obviously every single time you hit a Gamma member or Red Hulk, he gets a charge. You can get 2 charges at a time. He's gonna ult. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill your global controllers. Like this is just an absolute gong show. Maybe exiting wave 1, you're gonna need to have so much speed bar that it doesn't matter that a Hulk, Red Hulk with, I think it was 133 speed. It doesn't matter that a Hulk with 133 speed plus speed up drops into the field. You're going to need to be going first. I think you're also going to maybe want, if you're trying to one-shot this, you're going to want your Doom to be going first and bringing Morgan for the ride. That's the only thing I could think of. It's an absolute gong show. Maybe then you can kill the Red Hulk in time with the percentile damage from Morgan. And the rewind, like you're going to hit him 5 times and then you hit him with the rewind on the special to end Morgan's turn. There's going to be like a crazy turn order to get through that if you try and one-shot it. Or maybe you go in there with 2 different attacks. The first attack kills Node 1, brings in wave 2, and then you get 5 hits out there. Red Hulk does his ultimate. And then maybe he doesn't come back in on the next attack and continue to get charges, then get energy and ult. Because they have it worded that all war abilities are active during this run. In Nova and in Red Hulk's kits, in their passives, it says like, this ability can only happen once per war. If you're a Scopely developer and you're watching this, it's very important that you guys test that. If you're not going to let us test it for you, you got to test that to make sure that that is the case. Because that is a huge strategical thing that's either going to make or break it for a lot of people. And it's important they know what they're walking into for Node 10 and for this node as well. So like, please make sure Red Hulk's passive cannot be triggered twice per Crucible run. And then wave 3, I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, but it's not going to be easy either. Fury is going to be giving speed up to Kestrel and to Coulson, and then Coulson's going to drop bombs on people. Kestrel's going to come and pop them up. It's the same concept of wave 2, except not nearly as ridiculous and not nearly as unforgiving if the Red Hulk's passive is working the way I hope it's not working. So that's the global controller one, and then we got the final brawler node. This one doesn't look too bad either. I think our brawlers are probably the strongest tag we have, because we have Red Hulk, we have Quicksilver, we have Shang-Chi, we have Deathpool. We got a lot of amazing characters here, right? As far as like where's the big synergy here, obviously this one is going to feed heavily into, I believe it was Agents of Nowhere. So Invader characters gain the shield tag. So these Invader characters, I believe they're going to be getting benefits from Captain America. I think he does some shield stuff. Also, if they're alive when Fury, oh no, they already have Invader tags. When Maria Hill comes in, there's definitely some sort of synergy here. This is clearly the node that it was meant for. But again, this node doesn't look like it'll be too difficult for your brawlers to handle. Summoned enemies, obviously this is going to be the node that kind of leads to the heaviest with a Nick Fury and a Maria Hill. But we see Nick Fury, we saw Doc Ock. We're not too worried about their summoned characters coming in. That's not true. The Nick Fury summons are a pain in the butt. You're going to want a dispatch of him before he can do that, if possible. Because, yeah, them taunting and hitting you back. Yeah, no, actually, with them having 20% max life, and if you're doing a high difficulty, that could be a real pain in the butt with the new Fury minions. They're tough. Yeah, this node's not looking too crazy. But the next node is. So the next node really makes me think we will be doing 9 nodes and calling it a day, just like we did with the Nova trial. So, put this into perspective. All war abilities are active. Check. Cosmic hero characters gain nowhere trait. Check. Brawler characters gain crit hit damage. Brawler blasters, gain additional crit hit chance. So sorry, brawlers gain damage, blasters gain hit chance. Second wins, they're going to gain additional energy. Heals are going to get barrier, and then heal block is going to heal that enemy character. 2 Nebulas does increase the chances that Nebula is going to assist on not just Gamora's turn, but also on Nova's turn. Let me double check that to be sure, but I believe it is on turn apply assist now. So gain 20% additional assist chance per Infinity Watch member. So because there's 2 Nebulas and there's a Gamora, she's going to have a 60% chance total to be doing an assist even on Cosmo's turn, even on Nova's turn. If Nova's a striker, that's going to be a problem. He's a blaster, so he's going to have additional crit hit chance. And that doesn't even speak to, you know, Nova's abilities. If somebody asked, is Nova going to have his Awakened abilities? I don't know. That would be crazy because that would be the first time. People who don't have the Nova abilities will be fighting somebody who on the defense side might have them activated because it's just war bonuses flat across the board are all active. That would be problems, right? So please check that. Please make sure Nova doesn't have any level 6 passives or level 8 other abilities. That would be bad. Yeah, and then we got the heal block coming from Gamora. That's huge life steal there. We got the passive charges from Nova. So this is just like we talked about with Red Hulk. When Nova enters a battle, he gains +2 charged. And this only happens once per war. So just like with Red Hulk, you need to make sure that's the case. He also, one of his main things in his passive is when he does have 3 charges, one of them cannot be stunned. So the Nowhere allies cannot be stunned, which will apply to the Infinity Watch members as well. They also spawn with Safeguard and... Oh my god. So while this character has 3 or more charges, stun cannot be applied to any Nowhere allies. And then on war defense or offense, if this character has charge and 2 or more Nowhere allies, cosmic enemies cannot gain defense up. So if we're using our Nowhere team and he has charged, we're not going to be able to have defense up. Obviously, this would be a huge problem if we're pushing higher difficulties. That'll hurt a lot. Okay, so it doesn't even matter if he's charged or not. Apply evade and safeguard to all Nowhere allies. So this Gamora is loading in with evade and safeguard. Nebula's not. No, because Nebula is not a cosmic hero, so she's not, at least. It's going to be a problem. The way this works is Nova always gains 1 charge on spawn. We need to know if he'll gain an additional charge. Like, does he maintain charges between battles? That's going to be a really tough thing to deal with. He gains 2 charges, can only trigger once per war. If that's not true, and all of a sudden you do a burn attack, but you go back in, and instead of, like, coming in with 1 charge, he's now at, 6 charges total, it'd be like, okay, well, this run is over. All right? Because we need to go in there to burn his... First of all, his special, where he's going to just obliterate people, plus, trauma, stun, all that kind of stuff. And then he's also going to follow that up with his battlefield effect. Like, we're not going to get through waves 2, 3, and 4 if we're fighting through that battlefield effect the entire time. So you need to go in there to burn the battlefield effect. But if in doing so, he gains 6 charges, so he's rebalancing the whole time. Every time he drops below 50% life, he's then going to pop back up with additional 2 energy. He's just going to get right back to his ultimate, and then you're fighting through the Nova Force again. So all of a sudden, your burn attack did absolutely nothing. So this node is going to be crazy. This node definitely feeds the most into the Scourges, or the packs, if you will. What I will say about these packs is it gives me hope that they've kind of realized that they might have some limitations. These packs are nothing crazy, right? Like, let me move the chat again. These packs are nothing crazy, so it would be difficult for me to think that these packs will be as broken as the ones we had for the Nova Trial. They've done a lot of this before, right? They've done the thing where certain tags latch onto certain tags. They've done the thing where Crucible abilities were working, so now it's just War abilities. So maybe that's just changing one word in the code. They've done this certain tags get crit hit chance, crit damage. They've done energy stuff before. They've done effects on healers and fortifiers having certain things. So I think they're playing it very safe with these packs, which makes me worry about a couple things. And again, thanks Tana for the data mine. This is great information for us to have. Hopefully we can get it verified. But it's pretty spot on. The same with the node composition. It's probably pretty spot on too. It does make me worry that there's going to be a very clear breakpoint, just like there was for Black Cat. For Nova. So for Nova, it was like do difficulty 8 with every single Scourge equipped, or do difficulty 9 with every single pack equipped. Because none of these packs seem to super break anything except for the Agents of Nowhere. Like maybe you take the Agents of Nowhere off so you can manage node 10. So I can kind of see that being a thing, but every other pack is something that is a double-edged sword. You're kind of working around it. So I like that they've played it safe. I think in playing it safe, it's going to mean everybody just equips everything, but we'll see how that goes. Except the Agents of Nowhere. The Agents of Nowhere is going to be what distinguishes probably top 50 runs from top 500 runs, top 500 runs from top 3,500 runs, wherever that next break point is, and so on and so forth. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you do happen to want to play some Ant Legion with me, that really helps out because we got a sponsorship running with them on stream. I'll put a link in the comment sections below if you got some time. But have a great day. That's it. Bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.